Hi, and welcome to another installment of Math Basics, Mr. Besh. Today is the third in the installment of rational numbers with negatives, and what I'm doing here with this example is now both of my fractions are mixed numbers. So the steps for doing this are basically the same whether they're positive or negative. If you ever get two fractions which you have to combine using adding or subtracting and they are mixed numbers, the first step each and every time is to make your mixed fraction into improper fractions. Once you do that, then you can start your procedure. So now when I do this, as you can see here, you take the whole number out front, multiply it by the bottom, so 4 times 4 gives you 16, add the top, which is 3, gives me the 19. And vice versa for my other fraction, 6 times 2 would be 12, 12 add 1 gives you 13 on the top. So this is the first step. Each and every time you add or subtract fractions and you have mixed numbers, you got to make them improper. Okay, so now we got to get a common denominator. And we had 4 and we had 2, so now we got to think of the least common multiple of my denominators of 4 and 2. And that obviously is 4. This is one of those cool examples where you only have to fix one fraction and not the other. A lot of our examples that we did, we actually had to fix them both, but this is one where we don't. So now we have to make the second fraction's denominator 2 into 4. To do that, you are basically multiplying 2 times 2 to make 4. So now whatever you multiply the bottom by, again, you multiply the top. 13 times 2 gives you 26. And now we're ready to roll. So now when we combine these terms, we look at the two top numbers, and you got positive 19 and you got negative 26. And the rule says when your numbers are opposite signs, you subtract. The other way you could simply look at it, and I like this way even better, is the positive 19, you could look at it like you have 19 positives. And then the 26, which is negative, you could look at it like you have 26 negatives. And like compare and say, hey, what do I have more of? 19 positives or 26 negatives? Now obviously you got more negatives than positives. The question is how many more? So then when you want to find how many more of something you have, that's just basically code for subtraction. So 26 take away 19 gives you 7. And since you have more negatives than positives, it's going to be negative 7. So then when I take negative 26 and 19, 26 minus 19 gives me 7. And now the top number I knew was going to be negative, so I have negative 7 over 4. Now remember, improper fractions are no good as final answers, so then we had to make this into a mixed number. And to do so, you take the denominator and say how many times does it go into the top, the numerator, which is 1 time. The remainder, or what's left over, is 3. And note again, the bottoms of these fractions stay exactly the same. And that's that. I hope you found this video both helpful and informative.